Okay, part two, right? So just continuing on from what I was just talking about, yeah, make sure that what you send out is really, really good, yeah? It doesn't matter, okay, if the Ming vase in the background is from the right dynasty, they don't care, right? They want to see that you can act and act really well, and that's what will prick their ears up, all right? And yeah, sure, over time you can get a more sophisticated looking kind of showreel once you've done a few professional things, okay? Or other things, you know, student films that are good or whatever, as I said, okay? So you've got those three things, your headshot, your bio, and your showreel material on a link, and you send that to the casting agents and the casting directors, okay? And when you send it to the casting agents, what you're asking in a very polite cover email is that you're looking for representation, that you're a new actor who is looking for representation, and you've got your materials on the attachments there. For the casting directors, you're asking the casting directors to keep you in mind for upcoming productions, right? Or things that are happening, yeah? Now, you don't need an agent, okay? It's good to have an agent, obviously, but you don't necessarily need one. Casting directors all sort of behave slightly differently, okay? So some casting directors will only go to agents, all right? So you've got to have an agent if you're going to really get in with that particular casting director. But it's still worth sending your stuff to them directly, because they may just be sitting there trying to cast something and they just haven't got the right person for it, or you know, they look at the person's the character is black and they don't have any black people on the books, and or they can't, or they just don't have any options there. All of a sudden you send your stuff to them and there you are, right? And there's a picture of you and they're going, oh my god, it's a black actress, I hope she can act, right? And then they'll bring you in for a casting, yeah? So do send it along. There are other casting directors, however, who are always looking for new people, right? They're constantly saying to me, Dave, just get your people to send their stuff into us. They're always looking for new looks, new people, new talent. They're looking for the next amazing thing, right? And they want you to send your stuff. So make sure you do. Don't be shy about doing it. How often should you send that stuff? I say every 6 months, okay? Send it along, all right? Always follow it up a little bit late, a couple of weeks later if they haven't got back to you, and just say, just want to make sure that you got it, because things do end up in spam folders, right? So do follow it up and just say, just want to make sure that you got it and it didn't end up in a spam folder somewhere. And they're polite people. They're busy, but they're polite. They're nice people. They will probably, more than likely, get back to you, okay? And just say, yep, we got it, thank you very much, yeah? 6 months later, send it again, okay? And hopefully, when you do send it again, you'll have updated your showreel a little bit as well, okay? So you'll have something a little bit different to show them as well, okay? They're nice people. They're not monsters. They want to know who you are. And remember that they can't cast you in anything if they've never heard of you and never met you before. So do send your stuff along. Okay. Now, another question was websites, casting websites. Okay. Yeah. Right? Casting websites, there's a lot of them out there and you can spend a fortune on them if you want to. But really, it's up to you, right? All of them have certain value, okay? It's just that you have to know what that value is. So some actors say to me, oh, Dave, I've been on Spotlight for 2 years and I've got nothing from it. Spotlight is a directory, okay? They're not going to send you for auditions. They're not going to send auditions to you. It's a directory of actors. So if you want to be on that directory, then be on that directory. And if a casting director somewhere or a director is a member of it, they might be flicking through going, I need an actress between the age of 20 and 24 who has black hair, and they're flicking through it and they see you and they go, okay, I might bring that person in for an audition. It's a directory, okay? Something like Star Now or Fishpond are completely different things, right? They operate in a different way. Some of them you have your own profile on it, but they'll also, like Fishpond, will actually email you auditions that you can submit yourself for through Fishpond, right? So that's a completely different ball game to Spotlight, right? So they all have their value and they all have different ways that they operate, yeah? So you just have to make a choice and ask yourself, how much money do I have to spend? How much do I want to do this? You might want to try one of them out for a year and see. And if it pays for itself, you know, if you get a couple of jobs out of it, then it might be worth keeping on. If not, maybe not, okay? All right. Should you do workshops with casting directors that offer workshops. Sure, why not? Okay, so some casting directors offer casting workshops, right? That's absolutely fine, and obviously that is of great value because these are experienced people who are in that audition room every day. Why not find out what they are expecting of you, and how they operate in that room? That's a great thing to do. Why not? But don't do it, okay, if you're thinking to yourself, this is how I'm going to get in with them, yeah? It doesn't actually work that way, okay? And if it is working that way, that's called pay to play, okay? And it's very heavily frowned upon in the States, right? People get in a lot of trouble for it over there. And pay to play means that you're paying a casting director, you're doing their workshop, paying them, and then they'll cast you in something. But that's not happening here in Ireland, not as far as I know anyway. Like, there are casting directors who offer workshops, but I know many actors who have gone for auditions with those casting directors who have never done their workshops. So it's up to you if you do them or not. But don't expect that if you do it, then that's going to give you some kind of advantage over other actors. It doesn't work that way. But sure, why not? I mean, why not get that perspective? I mean, remember, one casting director's perspective will probably be different to another casting director's perspective, and then you'll have other casting directors who don't offer workshops at all, so you just have to go in and do the best audition you can do and hope that you meet their expectations, yeah? And the more of them you do, the better you get at it as well, all right? Okay, cool. So, I think that's all of the questions. So, just to cover a bit, very briefly, to take out the kind of conspiracy theories a little bit, right? There's no nepotism here, yeah? These people want to know who you are, right? They want to know who you are and whether or not you might be the next big thing, okay? Think about it, right? If you put yourself in their shoes for 1 second and have a little bit of a think, right? If you were a casting director, what do you want? You want to meet an actor who the audience is going to want to come back over and over and over again to see. All right? That's why if you want to try and get work in the theatre here in Ireland, it's not easy because the same actors are cast a lot over and over. But why? Because the audience wants to see them. And they prove themselves in every single production. They're good and they're consistently good, and that's true. And it is therefore hard because there's not a lot of roles. But still send your stuff to the casting departments of theatres as well. You just never know, yeah? If they don't know who you are, you're not going to get cast, yeah? So think about it from the casting director's perspective, yeah? If you're going to be one of those actors that gets a part on a TV series and the audience goes, oh, I love watching that person, and then all of a sudden you've got a bigger role in a new movie and they're going, oh yeah, and then you've got a name, right? And then after that, you know, someone in the States, you know, James Cameron or someone says, oh, I'm going to put that guy in my next movie, and next thing you know, you're exploded. And that's often how it works, yeah? And it's only because those casting directors have their eye out for the person that is going to resonate with the audience, because none of this exists without the audience. No one gets paid unless there's bums on seats in the theatre. No one gets paid unless there's people turning on that TV show or going to that movie at the cinema. Right, I'm going to stop talking. I'm exhausted, right? I'll make another video soon for you, and if you have any other questions, please let me know. I'll chat to you soon. Thanks, guys.